Yep.
Oh, finally.
Yay.
Hello, Mr. Sharma. Yeah.
Hi, Pagila.
So how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Today is a very special day. I'll tell you later.
Thank you for joining us to have this little conversation. With a little technical glitch.
Yep.
Um, how are you doing? As busy as ever?
Yes, this time is making us more busy. This is not a kind of easy time, unprecedented,
Right.
challenging time. So it's more fun working in this time because we have been through this kind of situation before. So keeping us more
Yeah.
busy.
And I'm sure the term working from home doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, there are no boundaries, no limits, working all the time. So I feel more
Yeah.
productive.
Okay. Shall we just start?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Um, so um, Thank you for everyone joining us this afternoon. For you guys who are here the first time, so this is called this is part of Collab4Health, and Collab4Health is an initiative started by United in Diversity (UID). So we gather our network members and alumni to collaborate and find solutions for Indonesia's challenges, and of course, in these times, what other challenges bigger than COVID? Um, and joining us now this afternoon is Mr. VP Sharma, the Group CEO of PT Mitra Adiperkasa, or MAP. And as we all know, MAP is the largest lifestyle retailer in Indonesia, with over 2,500 stores carrying more than 150 lifestyle brands. Um, Brands such as Starbucks, just to name a few. And in this session, we're gonna have a bit of chat with Mr. Sharma. We're gonna talk about how to survive the pandemic together, especially from the perspective of a business, and in this case, from Mr. Sharma as a representative of MAP. With that, can I just start with asking the basic question, Mr. Sharma? So as we all know, COVID is such a challenge for us all, and how does it affect business specifically?
Yeah. I think there is some problem in the microphone, so let me go for the setting.
Oh, I think we've lost Mr. Sharma again. So apologies everyone for the technical glitch.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Sharma.
Yeah, sorry, there is the Wi-Fi connection was not very good.
Okay.
First of all, inviting for this very special day. I feel very lucky that today is the 1st of July, and but today Jakarta is starting to use plastic.
Oh
Because
yeah.
of degree, so this is a kind of very special day.
Hello, Mr. Sharma. Sorry, your voice is breaking up.
Is it? Is it better now?
Yeah,
Should I?
it is. It is much better now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying, this day has come after a lot of efforts by a lot of people, but I just want to mention a couple of names. That first of all is that Ibu Tuti, who is the president of UID, and she is also chair of NPAP. And she has been working very closely with us. And I will also mention Sherry, who has always been inspired for all these kind of sustainability efforts. So they worked very hard with Palohot and a lot of other people to work against use of single-use plastic and how do
Yeah.
we reduce. So I just want to express thanks to both of them, and I want to congratulate them that it is partly because of their efforts that we have taken, and this is what is already starting in Jakarta, starting from today. So in addition to that, I also want to mention that they love so much about the recycled items and all. So if you look at Ibu Tuti's bag that I was saying, and
Yeah.
also Shadi's bag, these were made of the recycled plastic bottle. And these are made by Ibu in East Java that who do this kind of weaving or harvesting. And we are selling those beautiful bags in our Alun Alun. As you know, Alun Alun is also part of MAP.
Yeah.
And Alun Alun is very, very important to promote the local handicrafts, arts, local batiks, a lot of those kind of helping artisans, small crafts, and all that. So those beautiful books are available, and uh, both Ibututi and Sherry, they look even more beautiful with bags. And I
So,
must say
so
that it was because of their initiative that
yeah.
we started about 2 years ago, Dinner Nusantara movement in Bali during the World Bank. Jokovic was also attending it. And we were the first Starbucks in the world who went against using any plastic. So instead of using plastic straw, plastic cup, even cutlery, everything we replaced either with the paper or cassava kind of material. And not only that, during that event, we also announced that whatever was the waste coffee that it was having tons of waste coffee. So rather than requiring a kind of landfill, we decided to work with the local farmers, and they started using that waste coffee as a kind of compost. So as we believe into the recycling and sustainability, so I mean, we started our initiative about 2 years ago, and we were the first company, first Starbucks in the world to make that announcement. So it's a very special day for us, and I want to congratulate to both of them, and really very happy that MAP is playing its part as the leading retailers,
Yeah.
because we are not using the single use kind of plastic, and we are encouraging the biodegradable kind of materials for all our brands. So we are very happy and excited, and I feel more honored to have been invited today. Very special day.
And we extend our thanks and to MLP as well for leading this initiative, and because this is a very huge step in the long-term sustainability plan. So thank you.
Yeah. So coming to COVID, I must say that even during the COVID, advancing plastic it is at our forefront. So you were asking about COVID. So what we are doing that since we found in Indonesia that safety of our employees and our customers, that has been at the core of our decision making. So that has been the most important thing, that we want to ensure safety both of our customers as well as for the employees. But as a kind of business, what we are doing, that lot of our businesses are helping in terms of COVID initiatives as a community, as a society, and for the government. Like to give you some of the examples, like our garment factory, rather than producing normal garments, we started making the mask that we distributed to all our employees, and we also donated quite a lot. And when we are talking about masks, I can also tell you that our Starbucks partners, we call them, they made their own handwritten kind of mask. and they went to Medan to the coffee farm, and they distributed those masks to the coffee farmers. And nobody goes to those kind of farms, and they were feeling kind of neglected. And each of the masks was kind of handwritten kind of messages. So it was a very emotional event when our people went and distributed the masks. The farmers really became kind of emotional. And like talking about Starbucks, I'll also say Starbucks is working closely with the community. They are also working with the health workers. They are going to the hospitals, offering them the kind of drinks. And their initiative, when we advised to Starbucks, we got a global recognition. A lot of people from all over the world started appreciating our efforts because it was highlighted by Starbucks. How is Starbucks Indonesia helping during this kind of COVID situation? So each of our business, they play their respective role in terms of active. I can say that Planet Sports started Planet Sports to run Instagram, exercises through Zoom. How can you work out at home? How can you still be kind of fit? And similarly, our kids station started offering help to children by conducting those kind of programs online. Our MAP Retail Academy, because we know that we have to take care of our employees, and during this period, they feel kind of very depressed. They are sitting at home for 2 months, stores were closed. Yeah. So MAP Retail Academy was conducting various programs for the training of employees. This kind of help, all that. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. So our food hall also started kind of home delivery because people didn't want to come and visit the malls. So we started home delivery. Also started WhatsApp chat and shop, those kind of initiatives. So people don't have to come, customers don't have to come. And then we were encouraging those kind of things. So each of our businesses have played their role during this COVID. Can be helped not only our customers and the employees, but as a community, as a society, because we have responsibility for that. So we did our part. Like Starbucks and Food Hall, they distributed thousands of food packets to the needy people all around India. So these are just some of the examples of what we have done during this COVID situation.
So if I can summarize, it's truly down to the various brands and stores because they have, different capacities and also different steps that they can take to ensure that we can together alleviate the impacts of COVID.
Yep.
But can I just dig a bit further from the maybe from the policies or regulations from MAP, and how do you think it would affect the business in the long run as we try to slowly rebuild from the current pandemic?
Okay, the business always believe in long term. We have that short but we believe by doing good during this time, people will remember us. Our employees will remember us. How did we treat them during this COVID situation, during a difficult kind of time? The customers and the society, they will also remember because this COVID, this will be over. It is a matter of time. It's not that it is going to stay permanent. It's a matter of time. So we are quite optimistic. But we don't forget that what are our core values, guiding principles, what is our mission. We also want to help society. We are a part of this. Because our shareholders, our stakeholders, they all believe that by doing good, you will do better business. And no business, if it is not sustainable during good time and bad time, will ever be profitable in a kind of long run. So we believe into that. So every action we take, I mean, these kind of principles are always at the core of our decision making. So we are not too worried about this short term. Of course, the business is taking hit, no doubt. And we are taking number of measures, number of steps that we are taking to mitigate the situation.
So it's not just about the business, but it's also about, building and maintaining the relationship between the company and the workers. And of course, in turn, it will also help build the relationship with the customers in the long run. So that is actually an interesting approach. Um, but can I just ask, like, if there are any challenges, what are the, biggest challenges that companies are facing?
As a company, from this point of view, as I said, that revenue at this point of time is definitely a challenge. Is a lack of confidence in the customers to visit the malls. So even though the pay has already ended, we have already opened all the malls, but the customers are still not visiting. There is only 20,
Yeah.
30% traffic. So if you ask me, it's a trust factor that people don't feel confident enough to visit the malls and go out for a kind of shopping and all. So that's why we have initiated the WhatsApp chat and shop. Our website, like Happy Mall, the sales have increased tremendously, and other digital channels have also become kind of very, very active. So there are challenges in the business, but we have a number of steps, bearing in mind a kind of long term. We are rationalizing, optimizing our staff. We are rationalizing the brands. We are rationalizing the channels and the stores. So what we are doing in order to mitigate these effects, we feel that over the period of time, we have accumulated a lot of fat. So we are burning our fat, we are toning up our muscles, and we are sharpening our mind. So we are treating this as a kind of opportunity. So those are the challenges in the business, Pagilan. So we are meeting them.
Yeah, and also this is a pretty rare opportunity to actually, you know, understand what's going on behind closed doors, because people rarely get to see or get to you know understand how businesses actually operate, and there's so much more than just revenue, than just business model. And building on that point, and on the points that you mentioned earlier about making sure that everyone's happy. So, how do you see yourself, within your role as a leader in MAP? How do you see yourself innovating new ideas to truly spearhead society, to to rebuild again after the whole uncertainty?
Yep. I think this is an interesting time. This is not the first time because you know that I've been with MRP, I'm a first employee. So thank Terry and the family for giving me what to start this company. And I was the first employee, and second employee was our CFO, Susiana Latif. So for
Okay.
two of us, we started this company from the day one. So it's like our baby. So we love it. So we are very passionate about what we do. So this is what keeps us inspiring. We treat it like kind of our baby that we do. So when we take all the decisions that we bear in mind who are our stakeholders, that for all our stakeholders, whether they are customers, employees, our shareholders, the society, NGOs, government, we always bear in mind their interest. And that's how we keep driving it. And that's what keeps us motivating all the time.
So really treating it as something that you've nurtured from the ground up. So that's an interesting thing. And before we continue, I would like to take this opportunity to our viewers. If you have any questions or inquiries that you would wish to ask to Mr. Sharma, you can write it down in the comments, and we will read it. And hopefully, Mr. Sharma can share his insights. And moving on, I would like to ask yet another question, because this is a very interesting conversation. Because in UID, we believe, as you might be familiar with, in UID, we believe the collaboration, the tri-sector collaboration between government, business, and civil society. And how do you see MAPE's role in that setting, in a tri-sector setting, and what can you do more to help others, and maybe any necessary steps or strategies?
Yep, that's interesting. So when we talk about this, that tri-sector, when we discuss like what is the purpose of MRP, what is the purpose of existence of MRP? Initially, it was to start a retail business and to make profit and all. But I think over the years that, and especially since we have gone for a public, we feel that we have a lot of responsibility, not only towards the company, but all its stakeholders. And when we talk about the stakeholders, it's shareholders, societies, NGOs, government, customers, and as well as the employees. So basically, this is how we keep kind of operating it. So when you're talking about the tri-sector, that we are working very closely with the community. I gave you example for Starbucks that we always see customers as a kind of focus. We know what are customers' expectations when it comes to MAP. They want to see the original product, value for money, any latest global brand or the trendy kind of brand or the concept they want MAP to launch. And we know that our shareholders want that MAP to play its role in the community, in the society, and to be kind of role model as a kind of corporate citizen. And they want to be proud of owning MAP. So that's how we do it for them. And when it comes to the NGOs and the societies, a lot of our practices are kind of very sustainable, that we know those kind of 17 sustainable goals, and we are contributing in a big way to them. I can give a lot of examples, not about in terms of the education, clean water, but even the gender equality and all, because I'll say about 48% of our employees are kind of female. And I will say majority, if we talk about the 1,500 top management staff, they are majority female. So if you look at any aspect of those kind of sustainable goals, that MAP is playing kind of its part in the society. When it comes to the country, I think we are helping to stimulate economy, to generate employment. Directly on our payroll, we have more than 30,000 employees, but indirectly we are helping more than 100,000 kind of employees, directly, indirectly, that who are working for MAP. So overall, it is not only a kind of retail company; it has become an institution with a lot of responsibility. So as a CEO, I see myself responsible not only reporting profit on a quarterly basis, but we have a lot of other responsibility. And we want to be rated very high when it comes to ESG rating. Morgan Stanley rated us as one of the Indonesian companies in terms of what we are doing for ESG. Our investors are also asking us that what are we doing in terms of the sustainability and other initiatives and all that. So all these are the kind of things that we are doing it. So we are involving the government, we are involving the society, and we are playing our role as a business enterprise.
Thank you. I really appreciate the highlight and emphasis on the social part, and also you mentioned about the ESG, environment, social, and governance. And interestingly, there's a question that just popped up. You also mentioned about employment, and this is from Teresia Caro. What lessons can we take from current pandemic for upcoming businesses? Because as we know, a lot of small-scale businesses started popping up, during the pandemic. And what lessons can you give them?
You know that it has been a difficult situation for MEP as for any other business, and all the businesses have to take kind of some hard decisions. So when we were debating in our leadership team, our focus was that at level staff or our sales staff, the administrative staff, those who are just barely above minimum kind of wages and all, we should take a decision so that their income, their life will not be impacted. Because by having the stores closed, they are not having overtime, they were not having incentive. So we tried our best that the financial impact to them should be the least, or if we avoid it completely. That was it. So in order to do it, we had to sacrifice. I had to make an appeal to all the management team I'm very happy to say they came forward, they sacrificed their salary. So when we were going for a kind of cost cutting measures and all, we started from the top. Like me and our CFO, we started 100% kind of cut for ourselves. Then the management staff also came forward. They offered. So they were the ones to make kind of bigger sacrifices in favor of the sales staff and those, because our our partners, our sales staff, they're the ones who are facing to the customers, and we
Yes.
know their income is kind of very limited, and if there is any kind of further cut into their income, they will be subjected to very kind of hardship and all. So I know every business has to cut a kind of cost. So if one advice I can give it to the people, that see who can afford a sacrifice. Don't
Mm,
sacrifice the people who don't have much to sacrifice. So that is one thing I would like to say. That's how we have been making decisions. Not that we are not cutting cost. We are ruthlessly cutting our cost. But that aspect we always bear in mind, that who is going to
mm,
be and how can we mitigate it. And that example has to come from the leadership.
agree. So thank you. That's a really great insight. So I think everyone should take notes on that. It's a rare sneak peek. It's a wisdom sharing from Mr. Sharma. And the next question is, any chance that that MAP would be open for collaboration in regards to their CSR programs or social programs? I think this is a question that a lot of NGOs and communities would like to ask.
Yeah.
Like, how can we help you guys? So, or maybe does MAP have any CSR programs?
Yes, we have, and we are already working with a number of organizations like Ruma Blanja, that we are supporting the education. We are supporting various initiatives, even the coffee farmers, as I said, number of initiatives, number of NGOs, and we had a head of CSR in our company. So if anybody wants to send any kind of proposal, I'll be happy to look at. I'll be happy to introduce to the head of our CSR, and we are always looking for a kind of good opportunities. We are already partnering with a number of organizations, and we will continue to explore any good opportunity. So please do send it to us, and we'll consider it
Okay, thank you. So the door is always open,
always.
always open. And next question. So I think this might be a bit repetitive, but I think it's worth mentioning that how would the recovery from COVID affect the business environment?
Okay, that's a very good question, and that's what we keep discussing and debating every day. Uh,
Yes.
First of all, we really don't know for sure that when it is going to plateau, when it is going to disappear, or will there be any kind of second wave or not a kind of second wave. But some fundamentals of the business have definitely changed. Like work from home, we are already encouraging employees for the social distancing and
Yeah.
exercising precautions. We are not forcing people to come to office. That we want to minimize attendance to the office and all that. So some fundamentals of the businesses are going to change forever, like digitalization. That has been our agenda. Even before COVID, we were already kind of accelerating, but now we cannot delay it anymore. So a lot of focus, a lot of investment is going to be for digital rather than opening more brick and mortar
Yeah.
stores, all that. So, I mean, it will be a new normal. That's what we will say. So we have to reduce our cost. Can't keep opening 300, 400 stores like we were opening in the past. We have to pay more attention to the digital aspect. And we have to see the customer's convenience. What do they want? They want to do shopping anytime, anywhere, anything. So
Yeah.
that's what we are saying, that our retailing formula is a 360-degree retailing that we are doing it. So people can buy anything, anytime, because we cover almost all the segments of the retailing, right from the department stores to fashion to active to golf and the children and the books and alun, our food hall, supermarket, everything that we cover. And by the end of this year, I'm happy to announce we will also be launching boots because we decided to prepone the launch of that booth because of the health kind of situation, because we know Boots and Walgreens is one of the biggest health company in the world. So we can take a lot of benefit from them and we can bring it to Indonesia. And that's what we are discussing with them during this period. So our focus is also changing. Rather than opening more department stores in the fashion, we'll be focusing more on food hall, convenience stores, pharmacies, these kind of things. Digital, more digital.
Okay, so I guess that sort of answers another question. So there was a question from @Motomulu. How do you foresee the customer's habit in the long run? So I think it speaks of the pattern of customers and the shifts in their preference or tendencies. So
Yeah.
or maybe you can add a bit more on that on the customer side.
Yeah, I think customers will definitely be prioritizing online shopping rather than the brick and mortar. And this is what we are also prioritizing. That, as I said, our Mappy Mall is the leader now, and its sales have increased tremendously. It's a beautiful website. A lot of customers are appreciating, and we have almost all the brands what we are doing it. So there is going to be kind of shift in the customer's pattern, and we have to follow. We have to follow the market. We have to follow the
Yeah.
customer. A lot of personalization that we have to do it now.
So customers, they don't need to worry about losing access to their beloved brands and products, right? Because
They are always
MAP
available.
will always be available.
Whether people want to come to the shop or they just want to tell us, just click and tell us, or just do WhatsApp and tell us what do they want to shop, and we will be there to deliver.
You'll always be there. And there's an interesting question this regarding to Starbucks. So how would Starbucks transform in the long run? Because Starbucks is usually a place to gather and hang out with people. I think this is coming from coffee lovers. So I don't think they're ready yet to let go of their love of hanging out with friends and coffee. So what's your insight on that?
I will say for the time being, what we did that during the peak of this April, May, we decided to keep our Starbucks open wherever we could keep it open, but it was meant only for takeaway because we did not want to encourage any kind of sitting and hanging out, all that. And even when the malls are kind of open, we have reduced our sitting capacity by 50% because we want to ensure social distancing. We want to follow all the government norms of the social distancing. And we also keep getting guidelines from Starbucks International because they've gone through this experience first in China, then in other countries and in America and all. So we learned a lot. So my advice to these coffee lovers, Starbucks lovers would be just it is a matter of time. This COVID will be over. We will again meet and we will forget social distancing because we are social animal. We can't be distant. It is just a matter of months.
Seems like people just can't wait to go back together and have a good time over a good cup of coffee. Okay, so the next question is, what is the unique value proposition from MAP, and how do you communicate it to the market? Oh, this is an interesting question.
Yeah, that's a good question. As far as to the market is concerned, that we are a public listed company, so we communicate also the investment community, bankers community, all our investors and all, and we comply all those kind of announcements on a timely basis. Like yesterday only, we announced our first quarter results. So as far as that segment is concerned, we do it, and to our customers, like various business units, whether it's the department, different brands, that they are very active on all the that. As I gave you example for our Planet Sports, that they have a Planet Sports to run Instagram, and they are also promoting exercise through Zoom and other means, all that. And even that kids institution is encouraging kids to play Lego toys. I mean, they are trying to keep them engaging. So we have these kind of social media. We also have our own website. That's how we keep communicating. And personally, me, that I'm very on Zoom with our store managers, with our sales staff, with our leadership team. Because during work from home, this is what I did the most, because communication and to tell them that and to earn their belief into the company, it is very important to communicate very open. And crisis hit us, we were very open with our staff, with the leadership team, that what kind of actions do we have to take? If we don't take these kind of actions, how long we will be able to survive?
Yeah.
It's a very open and kind of transparent communication. Because what I believe, if they believe in what you're doing, they will follow, they will respect, they will come forward to make any kind of sacrifice. But if they don't believe in you, if they're only working for you for the sake of work, because they only need a gaji, then it will be very difficult for them to follow it, follow by their heart. It will become difficult. So it is very important to earn their trust and their
Yes.
and their
Agree.
and communication is the key for them. Communication, whether it comes to the customers or our employees or to our shareholders, just be open, transparent, communicate to them, and so that they believe in you.
That's a really interesting perspective and to have in order to develop business. And I think there's another question building on the previous one. So what do you do to find ideas and innovate for the company? Because as you know, like you need to work your way through the customers, and so how do you do that?
That's a very good question. First of all, I personally believe in our management team, our leadership team. We try to hire very smart people wherever they come from. So we want to hire, and we really want them to do a kind of brainstorming session to come forward with the good ideas. I always say that I want to hire smarter people than me. And for every task in the company, there are smarter people than me. On the top of that, what we do, we also have a lot of people who are within the age of 20 to 30 years. Like if you want to know what is the average age of MAP employees, it will not be more than 28 or 27 years. So we are a very young company. It's only me that I'm spoiling the average. I'm not helping the average. I'm spoiling it. So we also have those young people. We give them a task and we ask them to do a kind of brainstorming session and come out with their ideas and make a kind of presentation. And honestly, we learn a lot from the young people. So we are always open-minded. It's not as a kind of a top-down kind of approach. We also listen even to the sales staff. What is the sales trend? What color is selling? What people are asking? What customers are asking? We even take into account their inputs before making a kind of decision making. So at every level, talent, and we make good use of them. And they feel good. They feel that they are a part of the company, and they feel a kind of sense of ownership, of entrepreneurship.
So again, what I can take from what you've shared is that MAP has always adopted ways of building and maintaining business that is focused on not only the revenue but also the well-being of their employees and ultimately to fulfill the needs of its customers. So that's a really interesting take, and this is one other thing that I think all of our viewers should really take note, because I think this is a business cheat sheet, so we can get tips from you. And because we're a bit limited on time, so I guess the last question is: so when can we have a cup of coffee?
Sure, our staff is open. And number of my meetings I'm just doing in Starbucks nowadays. You know that the last week I had 3-4 meetings, and people were not comfortable meeting in the office and all. So we decided to meet and owning in a mall, Starbucks Reserve, beautiful store in open area. So all our Starbucks are open. Let me know and to meet, and would love to have a cup of good coffee.
That sounds good. Okay, so just before we close the session, do you maybe have any closing statements that you would like to share with our viewers?
No, as I said, that I really feel honored to have been invited today because today is a very special day about the plastic protection, and I'm very happy the efforts of Ibuki and Sherry have been recognized, and we are starting it. And you invited me today, so that's wonderful. And I just want to assure, as MEP, that we know our responsibilities not only to our shareholders but also toward the societies, our employees, our customers, and the NGOs and especially towards the government, our country, and we will continue to play our role. And in return, we will request, please continue to support MAP, whatever you need, whether you go to the order online, Mapimol is always there. So please continue to help and support. And we truly appreciate all your support. And it is all because of the customers that we exist, and we'll continue to play our part towards all the stakeholders. Thank you.
Okay, so just before I close, again, I would like to thank you, Mr. VP Sharma, for sharing your experience, sharing your insight, perspective, and wisdom, and hopefully our viewers can make great use of the secret tips that you gave us. And we wish the best for your future endeavors, Mr. Sharma, and also we wish all the best for the future endeavors of MAP. And hopefully we can convene together again in a much better situation, in a much happier context. And with that, again, thank you for joining with us. And I'll see you next time, Mr.
Thank
Sharma.
you. Paglang, and
Thank
sorry
you.
for technical glitches. I know a couple of times that voice is and I don't know if I missed anything. So thank you so much. And thanks
It's
to all.
fine, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, goodbye, Mr. Sharma. Thank you.
Bye.